5 minutes. There we go. Now you'll see the noses start to push out into the Ohio River as it flows past Madison, Indiana. It's the 75th Madison Regatta. First boat away from the dock. Dave Vilwalk, U-27, the Miss Apollo, there it is. Madison fans, Sharkey is back on the Ohio River. He's going to be followed by his teammate, that is Andrew Tate in the U-91, the Goodman Real Estate, and already lit and coming up behind him is going to be the U-11, the Flavor Pack, with Jamie Nielsen. So it is Vilwalk, it is Tate, it is Nielsen. You've got the 27, the 91, and the 11. Keep an eye on the clock in the upper right corner of the screen. That'll tell you how far we are away from our start. Our boats do not know the lanes they're going to run in. We fight for lanes. This is that 5-minute period, Tanner, that I said I didn't want to miss. This is the race before the race, because they don't know what lane they're going to be in. There are some rules. Our score-up buoy is going to be at 1 minute and 15 seconds at the start-finish line. Some of this is going to sound a little bit confusing if you're seeing it for the first time. Go along with us here. We will walk you through it. Once you see it, you will understand. The boats want to be on the start-finish line in 3 minutes and 39 seconds with full speed and full song. And they want to be at that line, not a tick too early and also not a ticker too late. That's the perfect start. Now, as the boats come up the backstretch, I see Jamie Nielsen has moved himself to the inside. This is the first part of the start procedure. The second part is, and these guys can cut the race course, keep an eye on Jamie Nielsen. See if Jamie doesn't make a... Oh, he's already up to the top. I was still thinking they were going to go up underneath the bridge. I thought we had a lot further to go, but we don't. So everybody's gone all the way around. But the boats can cut the race course here, Tanner, if they think they can get an advantage. But the score-up buoy, which is the start-finish line buoy, they must be behind this line at 1:15. They're coming down now at 2:50. So they will all go around again. Now keep an eye on Nielsen as he goes down. I say him because he's the boat on the inside. Nobody else is in a position where they could turn left, but Jamie Nielsen could. With the two boats sitting to his outside, he is protecting lane 1 right now. And I mentioned to you earlier, Tanner, he has a knack for getting that inside lane. He's got it. Going to have his hands full out the right side window, but he's at least on the inside of everybody.
Well, he certainly showed his hand that he wants the inside lane. We can't quite see the rollers on the far end of the track since this is a different track than the GP track, but we've seen that number 1 lane chopped up quickly. So we'll see if that's a wise choice moving into the start of this race.
Well, and it was pretty clear because he was the last boat out of the pit area that both Dave Vilwalk and Andrew Tate let him have the inside lane. They opened the door and said, if you want it, go grab it. So right now you've still got Nielsen in 1, Tate in 2, Vilwalk on the outside as we come up the backstretch with 1:50. 1:50 until the start. Remember, they must stay behind the start-finish line buoys at 1:15 seconds, and then they will go around again. So it might look kind of like a start when they come down here in about 20 seconds, but it's not. Everybody looks like they're going to really behave up here. I don't think anybody's going to make any move for a different lane. Dave's going to go far to the outside. That's the first boat you see up there at the top of the screen. Lane 1 is that yellow and blue Flavor Pack. We're coming up on 6 seconds until the score up at 1:15. We're at 16:15 now, so that's a legal score up. Everybody was fine. That is not the start. That is not the start. That was the score up, and everybody was legal. Now, Tanner, here's a key piece. They can still change lanes. You can still change lanes, and during the 5-minute period, you only have to have 5 boat lengths or the length of a rooster tail, whatever is longer. They will determine and claim their lane at the entrance pin to the upper corner. So anybody could still change lanes now, but they got to have 5 boat length lead on somebody, and clearly that's not going to happen. So the way they're going to run is the way they're sitting there right now. Nielsen's going to be in 1 in the Flavor Pack. Lane number 2 is going to go to Andrew Tate in the U91, the Goodman Real Estate. Dave Vilwalk in the Miss Apollo. He is going to be on the far outside. Now you see Dave starting to give it a little squirt. This time when they come across start-finish line, we're going to be racing. Tanner, you ready to go?
I am so ready. I am so nervous for these guys. Honestly, look, I don't mean to sound, intimidated or anything, but, man, turn 1 with those rollers is just going to be insane to turn into right off the bat.
Yeah, keep an eye on Tate. He's coming from behind everybody in the middle. Watch Andrew Tate, going to try and bring a bunch of speed. It's not very long off that exit pin. We're inside 5. We're 4, 3, 2, 1 mark, and I think the start was legal. Nielsen broke the clock, but it's Andrew Tate with the boat speed in lane number 2. Then it's Vilwalk on the outside. 1, 2, 3 going down to the corner. You see on the screen it was a clean start. Everybody was legal. Who gets down there first? It's Andrew Tate in lane number 2. Look at Jamie Nielsen trying to hang with him. Oh, it got rough for Nielsen. He got in the slop down there, but Nielsen's going to come out in second place, and he better look in that right side rear view mirror because here comes Super Dave. Super Dave on the outside and the Apollo. They're dead even up the backstretch for second place. Now Nielsen moves out a little bit. We thought at the top end of the race before the start that Andrew was going to bring boat speed. He brought a ton of it, Tanner, and look what it's done for him.
Yeah, he's still keeping to that lane too, and he really was able to time that start. Wasn't the first across the line, but was certainly the fastest across the line. And now still stuck in lane 1. Nielsen's going to have to fight even more wake on the second lap.
Yeah, but the guy that's in trouble right now is Dave Vilwalk because he's sitting on the outside, and he's on the outside of Andrew Tate's wake. And as long as he's got to stay outside that way, it makes it doubly tough for him to get around Nielsen. Nielsen can stay inside Andrew's wake. Dave is trying to find some clean water, staying on the outside and coming off the exit pin. He is giving ground up the backstretch on lap number 2. Andrew Tate just running and gunning up the backstretch. He is running like a rocket. He's run away with this thing. The race is for second place, and Dave doesn't want to let it go, Tanner. You know what it's like. We got laps to go. Let's go get him.
Now, at what point does Dave cross to the inside?
Well, he's not going to be able to get on the inside of Nielsen. Now Nielsen is just pushing him around.
He sure is. From lane 1 to lane 3. Drives Dave all the way out to the outside buoy. He's headed to the dock.
Dave's got to come real wide, and that was Jamie Nielsen. We call that giving him a tour of the beach, and he gave him a tour coming off the top end of the race course. Now our boats are spread out. Now watch Super Dave, see if he doesn't jump to the inside down there, because you don't know what line Nielsen's taken through the corner. Dave has definitely decided this one's over down there at the bottom end of the race course. He is going to let Jamie go, and now our boats are spread out all over the race course. The checkered flag is hanging. It is hanging for Andrew Tate in the U91, the Goodman Real Estate. Here he comes, top end of the race course. It was all about having the boat speed at the start. He walked away from this thing like it was over. Well, he did not break the clock. Nielsen did, but he had the boat speed.
Yeah, and he certainly showed that lane 1 may not. He didn't prove lane 1 isn't the place to be, but he showed that lane 1 may not be the place to be.
That's exactly right. So Jamie Nielsen comes across. He will finish in second place. Here comes Dave Vilwalk. In the Miss Apollo, the U27, he will come home in third.
Well, that was remarkably close to the dock.
I don't want to say anything, but I'm going to say something. You have now seen your first, finally you have seen a heat of unlimited hydroplane racing. We started our boats, we finished our boats. It was only a 3-boat heat, but you know what? We really don't care. They started, they finished.
The racing is hectic. I got to be honest. The racing is hectic, and the courses, even though the water's flat from here, the flow of this river is making turn 1 and turn 2 just treacherous.
Our 2 strong boats are down to the bottom end of the race course, right off the top. J. Michael Kelly puts himself inside of his teammate Corey Peabody. Great look there as the boats come off the lower corner and head up the backstretch nice and slow, side by side. Darrell Strong, there's your livery right there. The 2 strong boats. Now we'll see if anybody wants to do anything fancy here. And with only 2 boats on the race course, Tanner, I don't expect anybody's going to do anything.
Now, 2 boats. Oh, because, oh my gosh, he's starting way back. No, I thought it was at 5
seconds. No, he doesn't have to be that far.
It's 5 seconds past the clock time, or is it 5 seconds behind the boats?
I believe it's 5 seconds. Nick doesn't even know. I think it's 5 seconds behind the clock.
I'm not a lip reader, but what I saw was no one knows.
No one knows. I think it's 5 minutes behind the clock. But as we said that, J. Michael Kelly cut the course.
Yeah.
And he saw it off the top end of the course, so now our boats are spread apart. You might see Brandon Kennedy come down. Watch and see what Corey does here. Because this is the type of thing where Corey'd make a left-hand turn here if you want and jump over to the backstretch and be ahead of Mike, and then he could be on the inside. Or watch what this guy might do.
So you brought up the whole teammate thing.
Yep.
And, the frenemy situation in teammates. So you got Corey and you've got Mike over there who have been racing together, I assume, since they were children.
Yes, they have. Racing outboards.
And, so here they are at the highest level of the sport, duking it out just like they were in their first runs as 10-year-olds. And yeah, they're going to have some fun with this, but they're also not going to hold back.
Oh no, they're not going to hold back at all.
Oh,
okay.
My goodness. Mike just took a huge butt right to the nose. I mean, just went right through a wave, splashed over the windshield. And that was just in the second top of the track. There's already white caps up there as the wind is starting to pick up. Corey cut the course and is chasing him down the front straightaway, but it could be a rough one even with just 3 boats.
But honestly, that is what we were talking about. When it gets rough like that, you can't slow down because then you're just going to hammer through him. He's going to have to get the speed up, keep it up, and stay on top of him. Now they both cut the course down here. Where are we? We are coming up on 2 minutes. 2 minutes to the start. Remember, and the Madison is not in a really good position here, although keep an eye on Brandon. He's going to cut right here on the GP course. Watch him go left now, and there he goes. He will go over and jump behind the 2 strong boats. The rule is Brandon must start 10 seconds behind the clock.
The clock, okay.
Not the other boats, 10 seconds behind the clock. So, as we always say to illustrate that point, conceivably, he could be the first boat across the line. If the other guys were 12 seconds late and he was 10 seconds late, he'd be the first one over. Don't expect that to happen. Coming up on the minute 15-second mark, the score up here at the start-finish line. Now Corey's going to come down with a bunch of boat speed, certainly a legal score up. And Mike is just now going to protect that inside lane. But keep an eye on Corey because Corey might want to move inside. I would be surprised if he did. Now, he doesn't have enough overlap down there now because Mike stuck his foot in it and said, really? You're going to get enough lead on me and come over and close the door? So Mike had to put his foot in it and say, no, I'm still here. You did not get enough legal overlap. That was a little bit interesting down there. So I thought Corey might make a move.
So 40 seconds left. They're on the back straightaway. Now they're going to slow down so much, and once the boats are going slow, they just dig troughs in the water, right?
They dig troughs in the water, and you can bounce it on the nose like Mike did up there. I think the idea here for Brandon Kennedy is make a legal start and come down and get some points, put third-place points on the trailer, and have dinner with the team and celebrate a good day.
I mean, this could be the roughest water Brandon has faced.
Yeah, absolutely, it could be. Now, you see Mike's really come down. Here comes Corey on the outside, coming up the 9 seconds off the pin. And now they start to put the hammer down there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, tell you what, we may have had both of the boats jump the gun. I don't know, don't quote me, but if they did, your leader would be sitting right here in the Madison. It could be, it's going to be close. Here is the look on the screen. You watch it, Tanner, because down there at the bottom end of the course, it's Peabody coming off on the outside. Got a couple of boat lengths. We are looking at the 2 boats up the backstretch here.
Clean.
They're going to say
clean.
It is a clean start. Up the backstretch, it's Corey out by about 3/4 of a rooster tail on J. Michael Kelly. The start was legal. That's what we are being, well, I have not been told that yet. I'm not going to say that yet. It is legal. Okay, thank you, Jonathan. Now, off the top end of the course, Corey gives his teammate lots of room there. Corey Peabody, U9. Beacon Plumbing, your leader, and he's got a full rooster tail now on his teammate, J. Michael Kelly. I'll tell you what, Tanner, I'm going to have to go back and watch that one full speed because, boy, it looked to me like there was a couple across. And our countdown and so forth is not official, but darn it, it's close.
Oh, my goodness.
Big hop down there for Corey Peabody at the bottom end of the race course. He really took a jump out of the water. He got it back down, and away he goes. Lap number 2 up the backstretch. Boats are spread out, but, boy, they are fighting some rough water conditions.
They sure are, especially down in that first corner at the bottom of the track. The top corner seems to have flattened out pretty good, but once again, boat speed across the line was better than position. Such a long straightaway. Corey just had a bit more boat speed at the line, and by the time he got to the first corner, he was far ahead.
Corey getting an outstanding boat ride coming across start-finish line. And he will start, and here comes teammate J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric.
Now,
Kelly.
JMK is tracked out on that turn into the outside lane.
Yep.
Is that something he'll hold along the track, or?
I think he might. He's got spotters right here to our left that are just telling him where the good water is. He's just looking for clean water where he can get through without getting a heck beat out of him. He has worn that lower corner a couple of times. He's come out with broken ribs and black eyes and That corner can gobble you up down there. But he's coming up now, and he, as you said, he took a big punch up here before the heat even started. You don't even know what might be going on as a result of that. But right now, it is all Corey Peabody, top end of the race course. He's going to come out maybe wide. Give us a look. Here he comes. Corey Peabody, Beacon Plumbing, Strong Racing, the U9, your winner of Heat 1B. Corey Peabody. Here comes his teammate, J. Michael Kelly. They're telling him there's good water here on the outside. Just put it up against the outer course markers, and you'll find the best water that's sitting there.
Sure. Once his teammate's out of reach, you got to survive these waters really at that point.
And I'm telling you what, this is a big moment. Everything they have accomplished today, they got the driver qualified, they got the boat in the race, and they get third place points. Miss Madison, the U6, comes home in third. The fans love it. They love it. It's just that so many people have worked so hard to put that team together, and for them to come out here and earn points like that, good for them. Good for them. Hopefully the crew gets to go home. I know they won't. I'm saying I wish they could go home tonight and get a good night's sleep. Yeah, they're not. They're going to work on a boat.
This is a completely new thing for me, for a community to gather around and sponsor a boat.
Got boats on the water here for our Heat 2A. Corey Peabody, you heard him talking about his battle coming up with Andrew Tate and Jamie Nielsen. They're on the water. Tanner Faust, let you and I find our way over to our broadcast position because this is going to be a good one. It is Heat 2A of the 75th Madison Regatta. Brad Luce, Tanner Faust here. We are looking at the clock.
I mean, Corey really broke it down there. He
looking at the drivers that are going to participate here in our first heat. I think we were seeing Corey Peabody when we got over to the monitor. Corey is at the bottom end of the race course. Gonna look around here, a little disjointed on getting us back over here. Andrew Tate is up the backstretch. He is entering turn 2 right now. Actually, he's going to cut the top end of the course. Jamie is then coming up behind him, and behind Jamie and on the inside going very slowly up the backstretch is Corey Peabody. So we haven't seen a lot of racing between them yet. I thought there might be a little bit more moving, but it appears now that Jamie Nielsen is going to crawl all the way around the top end of the course. He's going to pull Corey Peabody in there with him. And Andrew is going to go all the way down to the bottom end of the race course. So remember, our score-up buoy is 1:15, and we don't yet have our clock on the screen, so we don't know what our time is right now. I got a clock now. We are coming up on 2 minutes and 1 mark. 2 minutes as we look at our drivers coming in our Heat 2A. It is Jamie Nielsen in the U11, the Flavor Pack. He is at the entrance buoy to the top end of the race course at 1:48. He's going very slow. He's sitting in lane 1. Corey may have just put the fire out. A lot of smoke out of the back of Corey. He's got it back up and lit again. There's Jamie, there's Corey. Corey's going very slowly, and here comes Andrew up behind him and on the outside. Now, watch Corey. Corey, I think, is going to have to put his foot in it a little bit. He's got to protect that lane, and they both did. Both he and Jamie found the gas pedal, Tanner, and that was to preclude Andrew from getting ahead of him, getting overlap, and moving to the left.
Now, I did talk to 2 of the 3 drivers here, both Jamie and Corey. Both were fairly apprehensive about taking the inside lane into turn 1, and so the strategy may be to leave that open at the last second and let somebody have the inside lane. Both of them think lane 2 or 3 might be the fastest of the weekend.
And that might have been a little bit of racer showmanship there, too, because definitely Jamie crawled all the way up that backstretch to put himself on that inside lane. Now, as the boats come off the corner, you're looking at Jamie Nielsen on the inside lane. That's Corey Peabody pulling up behind him with 40 seconds. Now, Andrew is way back and on the outside. But, Tanner, remember what we saw from him yesterday and what he said when we got him up here on the pipes. He said, you've got to be back behind your normal timing mark, and you want it to work in such a way you can accelerate almost from the entrance pin of the corner all the way to the start finish line. And here comes, and he jumped over on the inside of Corey. Andrew Tate jumped inside of Corey. Corey left a window open there, and Andrew jumped inside of him. There's our first big move.
Down to 6 seconds as we round the
But
last
he
pin.
got wet. Oh my goodness, Andrew Tate is down. Halfway through the corner, he jumped through Corey Peabody's rooster tail. He got wet, and he is down dead in the water.
Now, he's not refiring. Will they stop the race because
No,
of that?
he should be okay. The radio guys will tell him where he is, so they will know what lane he's sitting in. Now, coming off the corner, here comes Jamie Nielsen. He is on the inside. He is deck to deck with Corey Peabody. Peabody now starts to pull out the 9, Beacon Plumbing. Corey with a lot of boat speed. This is going to get dicey, to your point, Tanner. Their spotters are going to tell our 2 lead boats where Andrew is, and now he's found the mustard. He is going to be gone and out of it, but there may be a big roller or 2 up there. They'll be careful. And it is going to be Corey Peabody coming off the top end of the race course in a wide lane, finding some clear water. It is Corey Peabody out by a full rooster tail now on Jamie Nielsen. A tough break for Andrew Tate in the 91. He made a great move to get inside Corey at the last second. But we kind of refer to that, Tanner, sometimes as overpaying for an inside lane. He got wet, it put the fire out, and this is the result. He is a lap down. Our leader on lap number 2, Corey Peabody, got a full rooster tail on Jamie Nielsen. This is music to the ears of strong racing in the U9.
Well, if Jamie was going to make that inside lane work, he really needed to stick with it. He had the opportunity. Corey just had too much straight line speed. I know most of the boats have made a gearing or prop change overnight, so it's really a crapshoot who has done it right. Corey looks like he has.
Coming down to put lap number 2 of 3 in the books and start the final lap. White flag flies, and it's for Corey Peabody. Got a big lead now. Now what his spotter's doing, Tanner, is just telling him where everybody is on the race course. And they're also telling him where the good water is. And right now it appears they're telling Corey Peabody that good water is on the outside because he's taken a real wide line through that lower corner. He talked to you and I about that trough down there yesterday. I'm sure he knows where it is and where he does not want to be. He's got the lead. This is all about protecting what he has earned, and he's halfway up the backstretch. Meanwhile, coming down to put the second lap in the book is our 3rd place boat. It's Andrew Tate in the Goodman Real Estate. A tough break.
Now, from up here, obviously the water looks flat, but the drivers all have said from right on the water level where their eye line is, they can see the trough. If they see it, they say it's too late, but they can drive around it down in the exit of turn 1.
Checkered flag flies. Corey Peabody, U9, Beacon Plumbing. He'll pick up 400 points, at least on the water. He'll pick up 400 points. He's got to go through tech inspection, and it's another solid finish for the Flavor Pack team. The Miss Flavor Pack with Jamie Nielsen, they come home with their second place finish on the weekend. They've got to be happy down in that camp. They had some issue on that boat yesterday. They had a bullnose problem. They had to work on that overnight and get it repaired. They did. Now the checkered flag flies for the U91. Andrew Tate, the Goodman Real Estate.
Certainly disappointing. Number 1 qualifier. Clearly has the boat speed around this course. Just unfortunate to flame out there right before the start.
I'll give you the good news. The good news is, as you were keeping an eye on him up there, he refired and picked up 3rd place points. That's 225 points that if he sits up there in the corner, he doesn't get. And we're only going to put 4 boats, maybe, on the front row for this final heat. And if you were to score a 0 up there, that puts you definitely behind the 8 ball. So this is really important that Andrew Tate was able to pick up that 3rd place finish. Mark, 5 minutes. Boats can't come out on the water until the 5-minute period. That's what that countdown was for, as you see in the upper right corner of our screen. First away from the dock, J. Michael Kelly. In the U8, the Beacon Electric Super Dave going to come right behind him in the 27, the Miss Apollo. And we will await the arrival. I see the tail feathers on the boat starting to move, and here he comes. U6, Brandon Kennedy. And going down the front straightaway, you're looking there at J. Mike, driving that beautiful boat that was built in 2014 by the Elstrom family, picked up by Darrell Strong. There's been a lot of modifications done to that boat. It is Heat 2B of the 75th Madison Regatta, the race for the Indiana Governor's Cup. And for fans that are watching this and going, wow, I've never watched one of these before, what in the world is going on? These boats come out, they never seem to be the same boats. You got boats running with other, it's blind draws that put these boats in the heats, and you're trying to accumulate points. That is the whole thing. There's a famous line, and everybody that's listening out there that's heard it 1,000 times is going, here he goes. But the young lady by the name of Debbie Gregory, who owned, by the way, the boat that is the Madison right now, she used to just walk through the pit area going points, 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 points. But that is the name of the game in qualifying, and it is the name of the game in heat racing. Accumulate points, because the 3 or 4 boats with the most points, when all of the heat races are done, they get to sit on the front row of the final heat. It's a 5-lap winner-take-all final.
So knowing that the slower that these boats go in this race before the race, the deeper the trench that they leave for themselves in the race, is there some sort of gentleman's agreement between the drivers that, hey, let's keep the speed up before the race?
No.
Because we do have these gnarly rollers that are going to appear in turn 1 inevitably.
No.
No, they don't talk to each other.
Not about what the strategy is and making agreements. No, no. We saw J. Michael Kelly cut the race course. He went front to back around the GP corner, which is a perfectly legal move. Be interesting now to see, well, I thought Dave might give it a little squirt. He would have been able perhaps to give it a little squirt and turn early at the top end and jump inside Mike if he wanted to. But to your point, and when you were talking to these guys, that may not be the place to be. So these guys are going to learn, although here comes Mike. He's coming slow. Looks like he's making a little left-hand veer there toward the inside lane. Dave's going to come down on his right-hand side. You might see Mike go. There he goes. And I think Dave will go with him. Yep. Now, what's working out real well from your standpoint, Tanner, what you've been talking about, they're staying out of that trough.
Exactly.
So they have to go down there the first time. When they come out of the pit area, they have to go all the way down to the bottom. But nobody's been down there since. Here comes Brandon. I would expect he will cut on the GP course as well. He has to start 10 seconds behind the clock.
So as it stands, they haven't sent it down into turn 1 on the race before the race at all. So the inside lane could be favorable still.
It could be better. That's a good point. So, and right now, Mike is sitting in lane 1, but we still have a lot to determine. The boats are now in that second part of the start procedure where they have to stay behind the start-finish line at a minute 15. This is called the score-up, and they cannot jump the score-up buoy to 1 mark. So clearly a clean score-up, because we are at about a minute 11 as our 2 lead boats, the Beacon Electric and the Miss Apollo, J. Michael Kelly, Dave Villwalk, as they will go side by side. And they, again, as during the start procedure when they came out of the pit area, Tanner, they do have to go all the way down there.
And Brandon Kennedy did a nice job of practicing that 10 seconds behind the clock. He went across right at 1:05, so 10 seconds behind the rest of the group.
And that's exactly what he has to do. So it looks like, unless something dramatic were to happen, and I can tell you right now, it is not going to. J. Michael Kelly is going to have lane number 1. Dave Villwalk is going to be in lane number 2. It's going to be a 2-boat shootout here. And Brandon Kennedy in the U6, the Miss Madison, the chief referee standing to my left has instructed him he must start 10 seconds behind the start-finish line clock. So when the clock strikes 0, he's got to be 10 seconds behind it. And now it is time to go. We are inside 10 seconds. Kelly in 1, Villwalk in 2. It's the Beacon Electric. It is the Miss Apollo. 1 mark, and it appears to be a clean start as our boats come across. It's J. Michael Kelly with about a boat-length lead on Villwalk as they head down into turn number 1. Kelly, Villwalk, side by side. 10 seconds later now, we've got Brandon Kennedy across the line. Kelly down there first. Dave is with him, but he's back about 3 or 4 boat lengths. You're looking, they bounced a little bit. They got in the soup. That took some speed away from Kelly, and it gave Villwalk a chance to run him out on the outside. Side by side up the backstretch. Now it's Villwalk by about 2 boat lengths, but Kelly is closing ever so slowly, Tanner. He's right with him.
He has some boat speed even with those bumps out of turn one. It won't be so bad on the top end of the course, but Dave sending it around the outside, keeping up his momentum.
Yeah, and I think Dave got a big advantage up here at the top end too. Mike got in some slop again. I think he lost speed in there. I honestly think that J. Michael Kelly may have the quicker boat here, but I think Dave's getting better boat ride, and I think he's getting better water, and we have had the Madison hook up at the top end of the course. He is off the course. I don't know what has happened up there. Our leaders are still running. We're watching the flag. Still got a green flag on the course. The Madison has gone off of the race course. The boat is right side up. It appears everything is okay. I don't think anything is happening. So I think we're going to continue to let this heat go. Meanwhile, on lap number 2, halfway up the backstretch, Dave Villwalk's got a rooster tail on Kelly. Kelly needs a good corner up here, or I think this one's going to be over.
He sure does. These guys are really worried on the exit of these corners that they're getting too low RPM on those turbines, not able to get out of the hole. Dave on the outside line able to keep that momentum, certainly stretching his lead.
Yeah, now Dave could move over on him because Dave's got 7 boat lengths or a rooster tail length, whatever is longer, but I don't think he's going to do it. I think Dave likes right where he is, being on the outside. I think he's looking for clean water. I think the shouting in this one's pretty much over, even though Kelly's still trying to hang in there on the inside and behind, but he's really pounding through some rough stuff. It's not looking good down there for Mike on that inside lane.
No, you can see the rollers still white caps, even with just a breath of wind out here. The white caps just hang right in that first lane. Unfortunately served it up for Mike.
I just saw a clip of some video of the Madison, and the boat seemed to veer to the right, and he went way off the course. We will re-rack it and show it to our fans. But meanwhile, the checkered flag flies. It is Dave Villwalk in a Miss Apollo. He will come down, pick up first place, J. Michael Kelly. And I think if Mike had to rethink that one, he might rethink that lane choice. But that's why it's a preliminary. That's why we want to learn this aspect of it. I happened to just a moment ago, Tanner, my eyes went over to this monitor, and the Madison seemed to veer to the right and go, and he was way off the race course. I don't know if he got lost.
I have seen the mounts for these skid fins, and it looked like he literally just didn't have a skid fin attached to the boat at that point. I mean, they are incredibly strong looking. I mean, the metal looks like it's pulled out of a specific hillside on the planet. The metallurgy is amazing. The mounts are like off-road racing truck size Heim joints, but it just looked like he had no skid fin there and nothing to hang on to.
Well, we will not speculate as to what happened, but that might be a good place to start because the boat turned to the right, and that's not where you want to go. He's way up toward the bridge now with the current being what it is. He's finding his way downstream very quickly.
No visible damage, but if the skid fin was gone, could he have driven himself back to the dock, or is there just literally no control?
Oh, he would have control, but I think at that point you don't know if there may be something else wrong with the boat, and I'm sure the boat's going to vibrate something fierce with that. It's just not set right, and just wait and take a tow.
Yep.
Don't run the risk of damaging something else.
I did notice this morning when they were doing boat startups, some of the drivers will literally put their hand on the boat while the engine is firing up to feel if there's some sort of vibration. So that is, when you're working with a turbine, just essentially something spinning down the middle, the vibration really is a telltale sign of something going wrong.
There's only 4 boats that are going to be in the water for the rest of the 75th Madison Regatta. They are in the water ready to go. Lids have gone down, as you see. Now look at the nose on the U8, the Beacon Electric. It's being pushed forward toward the center of the river.
Yeah, if you look down the river, they're looking into the sun, into turn 1, and they're going into the wind. Very difficult to see the actual distance, the depth of perception to the turn-in pylon down at the very end of the straightaway, to be honest.
5 minutes. 5 minutes, here we go. Boats are coming out on the race course. Who's going to get out first? Anybody want to take a shot? Looks like Corey wants to come pretty quick. He and Mike are going to come, and there comes Andrew at the end of the row, and Jamie Nielsen's going to come out with him. So we're going to come out pretty much 4 wide away from the dock. It's time to go racing for the Indiana Governor's Cup. J. Michael Kelly is the first boat to head down the front straightaway because they can actually race right off the dock here. And if Mike wanted to, look, Mike went to an inside lane down there, and Corey just moved outside of him. So it was a quick jump off the dock. He got all the way to the left. He got to the inside. But now look at this maneuver here by Jamie Nielsen in the U11. Jamie Nielsen has cut the race course coming out of the pit area. And I'm being told that is okay. That rule has changed over the years, and apparently that is a maneuver. I said something incorrect then later on, or earlier today, when I said they had to go all the way down to the bottom. So Jamie is able to do that. Jamie's at the top end. Coming up behind him up the backstretch is J. Michael Kelly. Quite a ways behind him is Corey Peabody, and then Andrew Tate is behind the field coming up.
Well, Jamie is certainly making a bid for the inside lane 1. I had predicted that Mike was the one who was going to go for lane 1 uncontested, and now at this point we have a little bit of a chess game going on to see who can get lane 1, and lane 2 or 3 may at this point fall to Peabody.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because if Kelly ran in 2 with Nielsen in 1, that might work out well for J. Michael Kelly. Now, everybody's going to cut the course with the exception of Andrew Tate. He's going to go all the way down to the bottom end of the race course. Now, Jamie's going to slow down, and watch Jamie. He is going to just go that slow and make sure he is at the start-finish line at 1 minute and 15 seconds. He's going to kill quite a bit of time, but he can do it now. JMK goes in front of him. Mike can do pretty much whatever he wants, but remember, we're at 2:53 here. You cannot cross the start-finish line before 1:15, which means if they go across the line, they're going to have to loop around and come back again. Jamie is going to sit there and just plow this thing out and stay there in 1. So keep an eye on Mike, see if he doesn't hook the corner here. And he's going to. You could hear him pull his foot as he came down the front straightaway. And look at Andrew Tate's right there. Now watch Corey and Andrew. Watch Corey and Andrew. Andrew is coming up the backstretch. Corey's coming over there. Andrew has the right of way here. He cannot make Andrew move. Andrew had the right of way because he was the boat that was already established on the course. That's a big deal, Tanner. And now they are all up at the top end, and those 3 boats are going to encounter Jamie Nielsen, but Jamie is plowing water. Jamie is plowing water. It is certainly, the door is wide open if somebody wanted to jump inside on Jamie Nielsen. Now you get a look at it there. Jamie is not yet to the entrance pin of the corner. Mike is already up ahead of him, but Mike is not tight on the buoy row. From the drone shot there, you can see there's a spot for Jamie if he wants to go in 1. And Corey Peabody has dropped down off ground idle again. Remember, he talked about that.
Yes.
The smoke came out of the back of the boat earlier. It just did again, but he's been able to spool it back up. So he's back, well, kind of spool it back up. He may be giving up some position here. We are at 1 minute and 30 seconds. They've got to stay behind that line for the next 15 seconds. So here comes Jamie in 1. It's Mike in 2. It's Corey in 3. And it's Andrew in 4. This is not the start. 2-1 mark. And that's clearly a legal score up. Mike has dropped off a plane now. Come on, Mike. Mike has definitely dropped off a plane. This is not good news for J. Michael Kelly. He's getting it re-spooled, but this is going to put him behind everybody. I would very much suspect he's going to be able to catch up the field and be with them at the start. But Tanner, that's going to stick him on the far outside.
It's interesting because I thought Mike was going to choose the inside. He had the option to take the inside just before crossing the line, and he's the only one who's experienced the inside out of this group, and he left that up to Jamie Nielsen. So maybe he just knows it's a bit worse than Nielsen may expect. But at this point, it doesn't matter. He's going to get shuffled probably to the outside of the first time that we've had 4 boats around this tight little track.
Yeah, so here we go. Coming up on 25 seconds. It's Nielsen in 1. It's Peabody in 2. It's Andrew in 3. Here comes Mike with a whole bunch of boat speed. He's going to come up behind everybody. I think Mike's thought on that inside lane was he would have been in 2, but he didn't want to be outside of Peabody or Tate. Now, coming off the top end, looking at our clock, not seeing it, but we're 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. Mark, boy, I think it's really close, but I also think it's legal. 4 boats are going to go down to the bottom end of the race course. There's a great view there. It is Andrew Tate on the outside with about a 4-boat length lead as they're going to get to the entrance pin. Careful, guys, it's rough down there. You see Corey really falling in a hole. Corey really took a bad hop down there. I think he came out clean. He think he did. I don't see him. Yeah, that might have been him that is back behind the field, but it is Andrew Tate. He is way out in front by a full rooster tail after Corey got caught in the slop in the rough water. He is losing speed, and he is going to drop down and off a plane. Coming down to put the first of 4 laps in a book. It is Andrew Tate in the U91, the Goodman Real Estate, and he's got a big lead, Tanner.
He sure does. He's stretching it out. Corey, you could see on the inside, who's doing everything to hang that skid fin in the water, and just started hopping towards the rooster tail. And it looked like he may have impacted that water, but he's stuck on the course now.
Yeah, now I'm just keeping an eye on Andrew Tate as he goes through that same sloppy water down there that Corey Peabody did, and that definitely cost Corey a shot at picking up this Governor's Cup race, because when he finally got it squared away and got his RPM back up, Andrew Tate was gone. Lap number 2, and remember, we're only going 4 times around. Andrew Tate's got a 3, maybe 4 rooster tail lead here, and his spotters now, Tanner, are just telling him where the good water is. They're telling him right now to go to about lane number 3. That's the best water. You got plenty of room between anybody. Just defend your position and stay clean. Andrew Tate. Here comes Kelly off the top end of the race course, our second place boat. He will come down and cross start finish line now.
Well, Kelly has certainly recovered well from being last across the line, using that outside line as much as he can. Peabody again has stalled, so he's still floating across in that treacherous turn 2. Luckily, everybody has clear sight of him as they come in, but I see the officials stroking their beards and wondering what they're going to do here. We'll see what happens with Peabody's location.
Well, the spotters are telling the drivers like Andrew Tate, who's right now approaching Corey Peabody. There's the entrance pin. You'll see couldn't go by Corey. There he was. He went inside Corey Peabody. The spotters are telling him where they are, so they know where Corey is, and they've all seen him twice. So this has turned into a bit of a parade. In fact, it's turned into a whale of a parade here. And Andrew Tate puts 3 in the book. This is lap number 4. This is the final lap for the Indiana Governor's Cup at the 75th Madison Regatta. J. Michael Kelly comes off the top end, and really it's the same thing for him, Tanner. His spotters are telling him where the clean water is. He just wants to hold off Jamie, and they'll let him know if Jamie does something silly like try and make a move, but that's not going to happen. It's a matter of just finishing. And our leader, we will bring him around, is halfway up the backstretch. He is Andrew Tate, U91, Goodman Real Estate, the boat owned by Bruce Ratchford. Ratchford Racing, BWR Racing. This would be the first ever victory for Bruce Ratchford. And he's about to claim a trophy here on the Ohio River at Madison, Indiana. Bruce Ratchford, your boat looks really, really good, and it is Andrew Tate walking off with the Indiana Governor's Cup on the water. At least the boat still does have to go through technical inspection. Congratulations, Bruce Ratchford and Ratchford Racing. Our second place boat is going to be J. Michael Kelly.
Wasn't the line he chose. It wasn't exactly the way he wanted to do it, but second place for JMK today, with all of the problems he said he was having with the boat earlier, not necessarily having the high speed, something he's got to be happy with.
Yep, and here comes a team that I think is going to be pretty happy with the way things turned out in the very end. It's Jamie Nielsen of the U11 of his flavor pack. Jamie across start finish line. He will come home in 3rd place, finishing on the podium. You know about that in racing. That's a good thing when you're on the podium.
It is a good thing, and you've got Peabody, who I've lost track, actually. I mean, I'm not sure if this is the 4th lap or the 3rd lap, but he's got it running. He's running the far outside of the course, and if he finishes, he can still collect some points.
Oh yeah, he's got this. This has been done. It's over. Corey comes by on his little cool-off lap.
Now I think Corey's got to complete another lap.
Yeah, I think he does too. He had a green flag that was waving on him at that one, so he will. He has a certain amount of time to finish. So on the water, it is Bruce Ratchford's first ever victory as an owner. Congratulations, Mr. Ratchford. J. Michael Kelly, the first boat back to the dock, but you're looking at the U-91. The Goodman Real Estate. The Goodman Real Estate with Andrew Tate. There is Andrew, young man out of Michigan. He is a pure racer. This guy races pretty much every weekend. So does Corey, so does Mike. That's what they do. Now Corey and Mike both have family members that are up and racing. Andrew is still a single man, and he will reach down and put the hook, as you will, put the line on the 91. So congratulations to Andrew Tate. Corey Peabody has now made it back to the dock. In fact, all four of our boats are back. Corey's back. The Flavor Pack was already back. And you see some congratulatory handshakes being handed out to Andrew Tate. Officials are still taking a look at some footage. I'm sure they will come tell us when things are or are not clear on the water. Again, that is separate from anything to do with technical inspection. All right, so I understand we are ready now to hear from Tanner Faust. So, Tanner, take it away if you can hear me. You are standing by with our winner, Andrew Tate.
Here with Andrew Tate, making it 2 for 2. Congratulations. Yeah, 2 for 2 in Madison. Last year, I heard your discussion here with Erica, and, I mean, it was a pretty special moment in front of Madison. I mean, now, second time around, same feeling?
It's, for me, yeah, for sure. You always like to come out on top, and Madison's a special place for me and my family, so to do well here, you know, we're not exactly Miss Madison this year, but my heart will always have a piece of my heart will always stay here in Madison. So there's a lot of fans that are here that kind of hung with us throughout the whole weekend. I think they were the real winners to get to see a final heat today. So thanks for sticking it out, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the show.
So real quick, heading into turn 1 with the glare in the sun late in the day, difficult to get depth perception on when to turn in?
Yeah, you kind of go off landmarks a little bit. You know, you've got the big smokestacks back here that never move. So if you can kind of reference those and then pick up the buoys from there when you come off the corner, that's kind of the easy way to go about it, at least in my opinion. But it was difficult running into the sun, you know. Turn 1 was nasty, just like it's been all weekend, but I'm really glad we got the race here. The water wasn't too bad. I think it laid down a little bit for us, but credit to H1 and the officials for getting us out there.
Yeah, it was great that they ran the final. There was some controversy at the very end. Was the race official? Was it not? Just before you walked up, it was official. 91 is the winner. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to Bruce Ratchford. I know you're watching at home. John Goodman and Kelly Norris, they were here all weekend. They took off to go home just before the final. So it's two years in a row they missed the final, and 2 years we won. So maybe they could come hang out for the weekend and then hit the road early next time too. But thank you guys very much.
That's painful words. Brad, back to you. It's official.
Thank you very much, Tanner. Great job talking down there. I honestly think there was a little bit of gun jumping going on there with things being official, because it literally, within the last 10 seconds, just became so. And it is official now. It is official. The U-91 has won the event. The question did not surround the U-91 and Andrew Tate. The question surrounded the U-9 and the Beacon Plumbing. What happened to Corey Peabody was Corey Peabody incurred 2 separate lane infraction penalties. Those are 1-minute penalties, but once you receive 2 of those 1-minute penalties, you are disqualified. So Corey Peabody will be disqualified from the final heat of the Indiana Governors Cup for 2025.